Well, here's the next step in the saga. I got a choice here between these two ways of mounting a motor mount, down or up. I'm gonna have to cut these up and modify them a little bit or make a spacer or something. But anyway, that's brand new motor mounts. Supposed to fit a 360. They don't fit this one, but I got to get it in the car. So I got plenty of room here. This is like 24 inches less, and you can see where 24 is. Altogether I got 28, so I got at least 2 inches on each side. My problem is that's my engine lift out there. I don't know if it's gonna go between the wheels. Looks like I got 50. Oh yeah, it's plenty big, plenty small. And here I got about 31, so it'll go under there. I don't know if it's going to clear this engine stand. Let's see, what do I got there? I got about, looks like this might be where it's going to hit. I got about 20, 28, 29. What I got here, 29 is going to be, well, just barely going to clear right here at the end. Hey Roxy, little cat, don't know what to think about the dog. So looks like this is right at the end of where it'll go. I only have to get it in this far to the middle, so I get the engine stand off. Now from the center to this, we're starting to drop down. That's going to be the problem. This is about 49 inches. And from here, the center, 49. It's going to be here. So this is going to stick out almost 2 feet onto this tilted area here. Looks like when I get it in, the wheels are just barely going to be on this, and that's a pretty good angle. It's going to want to roll back. I can block it, I guess. So I got to go 29 inches before my level for my jack is inside. That means I'll have the motor, right around this area here. The center of the motor will be past the cross member before I get the whole engine lift in. How much room do I got back here? I could still move this back another 2 feet. Boy, that might, if I shove this back all the way, get some of this junk out of here. I can probably, yeah, I can get it back about 2 feet. So if I move this car forward as far as I can, I mean move it back as far as I can, I'll be able to get my engine lift to the center of the motor and on the flat cement. Then once I can pick it up, I can get that engine stand off of it. And get it in here. I'll just lay a couple pieces of pipe or something across it to hold it. Probably one here. So put something across here on the dampener pulley. And I can put a block or something underneath the pan. I need to be able to roll it. Well, anyway, looks like it's just barely gonna fit. I'll have to clear some of this junk out of here. It's not that big a deal. A little bit of steel, tire, some brake parts. Get this back as far as I can, and do a final measurement, because I know this engine stand here, I showed you part of it in one video. It was our engine lift. It was pretty knackered. I oiled it up best I can, but you know, it's really going to be kind of hard getting it up over this cement. I had a hell of a time getting this, just the motor itself over there. A lot of prying. But anyway, I think this will work. I'll just have to finish moving the car. I'm going to see if I can get that engine lift inside. Well, I can't do that until I move the car. So that's the next step in the saga. Just trying to stick that motor in. I've got this rear end sorted out as far as I'm concerned. I got it clamped and it's holding and rolling, so I'm not worried about that. But what I do need to do is get some weight on this front end so I can start to set my pinion angle and stuff like that. So if I was 50 years old again, this wouldn't be no trouble, but I can only work in little bursts. Sort of a big deal. Anyway, like and subscribe, guys. I think I'm going to put this up for the rear end video, and then we'll have the motor going in and mounted, and finding angles and stuff, making motor mounts on the next video. Well, here's my mock-up. Got my engine leveler in here, right at the back of my cement. I'm on a part that's pointed down a little. I think got enough friction to overcome that. And I've got it more or less straight. Jack it up just a little until Looks like the weight just came off of the front. So now I take these bolts out of here and see what happens to the motor. It's going to want to swing back a little, but we'll deal with that. Well, it's up hanging free. It popped once, and I think that's because this roller rolled off of this edge. It looks like it's pulled this side up a little. Get a pipe and roll it back up in there. I should be able to get this whole thing on the flat spot. Oh man, this motor is just way too much. Too much to the left by a lot. My weight's barely holding it. I'm going to have to let it down if I can. We got to get this weight centered, and it's not even close. It's going to tip this jack over. Well, let's see what happens here. I can let it down until it just touches the floor. Hopefully it'll touch the floor. There we go. Touch the car. I don't know how much we got here now. Yeah, it's not enough. Don't know why it did this, but it's obviously not centered, and I can't do anything about it. Maybe I can rotate this motor around a little. Well, there's one end that's not as heavy as the other. Getting pretty close to the jack itself. It's almost to touch the pan. That's good enough. I've got a lot of the weight on that dampener pulley there, and it just touched the pan. Boy, you can see that this is really not very stable at all. At least maybe I can get a block of wood under it or something now and get it fairly safe. Then I gotta center it. Well, this bolt here wasn't really tight, which let this whole thing bend over some. And you can see that right hand side's coming up. It's holding the weight of the motor right now. I got a block under it, which will probably hold it. Well, I'm sure it'll hold it. But I've got this kind of cocked at an angle, so it's pushing crooked. The jack is not really centered on it. And this is in at the minimum leg width. This is all pretty hard in here. I'm going to try to break it loose and extend this leg out. First thing is try to let this motor down and get some of that weight off of it. There we go. Now all of the weight's on. Well, some of it's there on that timing thing, but just let this down. So now I got to break this loose, and I got to extend it out, you know, at least 6-7 inches to and I'm looking here at the thing. This is over to the side, and so I need really to take this out, center this bar up, and that's probably most of it. So try to loosen up everything and at least put a couple decent spacers in there. I mean, it was okay for whatever I was moving. I think I put that motor on the jack stand with it. But anyway, I think this center is probably the majority of the problem. So I got all the weight on fairly stable stuff, so see if I can get this arm out and put 2 different spacers in it. Well, here it is an hour later. I got this straightened out and my hinge oiled good. I got the ram straight on the frame. That's tight. I got a little more space to the right here. I was able to find a nut and opened the threads up on the lathe. That's all I could get in there, and it's squished down, so I think we're going to be good to go. Hope I didn't mess up my paint with that. Yeah, it's on its own weight. God damn, that thing is still up there in the air. Somehow this thing is bent to the side. I forgot to try to get this thing out. Well, I'll just let it back down again and that's all the weight back on it. Try to get this thing out, extended 6 inches. Might be a little bit of a chore. These bolts are well rusted, I bet. Well, they do turn. Get some oil in this thing. Well, this has been kind of a nightmare. I finally used a ratchet strap to pull this over. You can see there that this thing's in an angle. I need to do whatever I got to do and bend that and straighten it and then weld it. But I've got it up now, and I've got it where it's gonna clear the bar. So I'm gonna gently work it back. I left my headlight bars on there. That might have been a mistake, but I think I can get it past them. So one last push.